guys, welcome back to my channel. If there's one thing you know about me, you'll know that I love snacking, specifically desserts. The one thing I've been craving lately is my mum's CHOC-CHIP biscuits, and I grew up on those and I was addicted. But these days, because I don't eat gluten, I don't eat dairy, I have like a sugar-free diet and I don't eat grains, it's really hard and I'm gonna almost say impossible for me to find CHOC-CHIP cookies around my area. So I thought I'm going to make my own CHOC-CHIP cookies. Like all of my baking, I don't have a recipe, I literally just wing it every single time. And the thing I love about paleo desserts and this kind of recipe is that it's going to fill you up and it's not going to spike your blood sugar levels, so you're not going to experience a sugar crash. And I just love when something tastes really naughty and delicious, but it's actually healthy for you. The first thing I'll be using is some almond meal. So I just get this in bulk, and this is pretty much instead of using normal flour. I think I'm just going to do a cup of this. Like I said, I literally wing this, so each time the recipe is a little different. So a cup of that. Then I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of coconut flour. Normally, I don't really like to bake with coconut flour because I feel like it's a very powdery, dry ingredient to work with, but I just feel like it normally works really well in baking when you just add a little bit. Then add a little sprinkling of pink Himalayan salt. I'm going to be using some baking powder, and I use a little bit more than normal because almond meal is such a heavy flour that I feel like it just needs a little bit extra. So normally it's like a 1/4 teaspoon, but we're going to be using 1/2 teaspoon of that. Add a tablespoon of coconut sugar. This has a really nice toffee undertone. Sprinkle in some natural vanilla powder. This does wonders. I swear this is like the key ingredient to healthy baking. Also going to add a little bit of cinnamon, a little dash of that, and that is going to finish off our dry ingredients. So mix that all up and then we will add the wet ingredients. So we're adding 2 tablespoons of extra virgin coconut oil. It doesn't need to be too hot, it just needs to be liquefied so that it can mix into the batter properly. This is just a local organic honey that I got from the farmer's market, so I'm adding a heaped teaspoon of that, and then I'm also going to add a teaspoon of regular organic rice malt syrup. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get this everywhere. Ooh. And combine that. And once that's all combined, you can just add it straight to the dry mixture. Just work that in until it looks like a dry cookie dough sort of mixture. And then we'll be adding a whole egg. Let me just grab my egg. Cracking a whole egg into the mixture. And I never give quantities of almond milk. I normally just add dashes until it looks like the consistency I'm after. So yeah, the next step is add dashes of almond milk until it looks like the consistency I'm about to show you. So I just add a little bit by little bit because you can always add more. Okay, that's probably a little bit too wet. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit more almond meal. Like I said, this is not a strict measurement sort of recipe. This is just having fun in the kitchen. So I'm just going to double with the ratios of the almond meal and the almond milk, and then we will get to the choc chips. I pretty much just added another 1/2 cup of almond meal and a sprinkling of coconut flour and baking powder. So just a little bit extra of each dry ingredient. And I'm really happy with this consistency now. It's sort of just like a rough cookie dough. And the most important thing is make sure you taste test the batter first. Keep in mind it will taste a little sweeter as the batter than it will in the cookie. So make sure it's a little bit like maybe overly sweet in the batter, and then when it's a cookie it will be perfecto. But honestly, I think the key is the cinnamon and the vanilla powder, because that way I feel like you don't need as much sweetener. It just gives it a really nice cookie flavor without being overly sweet and spiking the sugar content of the actual cookies. Ugh, I could just eat the whole batter. This is why it's dangerous. This is why I should not be allowed to bake. Alright, time for the fun part, the chocolates. So I'm going to be using a mixture of the Loving Earth hazelnut chocolate and the Loving Earth 85% dark chocolate. I personally love having a mixture of dark and milk chocolate. Oh, I love the sound of cracking chocolate. It's like my childhood. And then mix it all together. If you have baking paper, I would highly recommend using that. But if not, I'm a grub and I normally put a little bit of coconut oil on there and I smear it with my hands. And you know what? Even if I told Kurt that I made these cookies with my hands and like I didn't wash them, which I did by the way, he wouldn't even care. He would still eat them. Like, he is a dessert maniac. He can probably smell them already from work. I know he's gonna come home and want to eat them all. It's time to roll these babies up into little balls. Don't just leave them in a ball and put them on the tray. I like to squish them down a little bit and it just helps them cook through properly. Yeah! And the best part is my whole apartment now smells like cookies. So I had mine in for exactly 10 minutes, which was perfect because they came out really golden brown, a little bit crispy on the outside and gooey in the middle. Honestly, staying at home and baking cookies is my idea of a good time. Like, that is like my perfect day. I'm so happy with how these turned out. They are absolutely delicious. I just had like 3, don't judge me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I obviously had a fabulous time creating it. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up because it really supports my channel and I like to know what videos you guys want to see. And make sure to subscribe because I upload new videos every 3 days. I will see you in my next video. Bye!